with my music, and it comes from a very deep place.
But how do you come up with your songs? Is it pen to paper? Are you sitting at the piano?
It's whenever it comes.
Whatever the muse.
Praise God, whenever it comes. Because creativity for me is like, it's religious. Sometimes with the piano, and sometimes I just hear something and I write it out loud. And
well, Stephen asks, at the Met, Oprah Winfrey called you some kind of spiritual and cultural leader. How do you feel about that? And what do you do to uphold that? As in, do you think of yourself as a role model to younger people and kids?
yes, I do. And I appreciate so much that Oprah said that. Oprah is wonderful and such a wonderful inspiration as well. And you know, things change. You know, like I said, I didn't have very much perception of the way people viewed me up until a certain point. And then once you start to gauge who's watching and who's listening, you start to think about, okay, now what do I want to say now? Particularly with my next album, I'm much more self-aware of my spiritual and leadership connection to my little monsters and the world, in the way that any artist is a leader in that way. And I don't particularly think that things like sex and drugs and talking about things openly in that way are wrong or necessarily bad for young kids. But I think that the most terrible thing that you can do is be prejudiced. And I would say that emphatically in my career, I am against prejudice. I am very against prejudice. I'm very against judging any particular kind of person or people or thing or idea. I think it is very important to be free and full of non-judgment. So I guess I would say that is how I religiously and spiritually lead my fans, is in that way, and I'm okay with that responsibility. I can't only think about doing what's wrong. Doing what's wrong or right is so it's so religious. That is what religion is, isn't it? What is wrong and what is right. And I think religion is completely bogus. So I think, you know, in the most spiritual and religious kind of way that I am, I believe in God and I'm a very religious Catholic person, but religion is quite bogus, isn't it? Because no religion doesn't hate one kind of person. So it's very confusing for me. I still struggle with it.
There's kind of spirituality and there's religion, and it's how those two interrelate. And
now, I don't know if someone would be perhaps offended that I said religion is bogus and they don't want their 11-year-old to hear that statement, but I feel that I am a good opinion about what is taught to young people and how we are mind controlled by whatever forces that be to believe or see things in a certain way. And I think the most important thing that they need to learn is to love and to be non-prejudiced. Very religious. I was raised Catholic. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. I'm very spiritual. I pray very much. But at the same time, there is no one religion that doesn't hate or speak against or be prejudiced against another racial group or religious group and or sexual group. And for that, I think religion is also bogus. So I suppose you could say I'm a quite religious woman that is very confused about religion, and I dream of and envision a future where we have a more peaceful religion or a more peaceful one.
What's going to happen one day, darling?
Well, they better open up the gate.
Talking to you over here.
I'm listening. You know, we really believe in God at my show.
Yeah, well, your pervert ways don't quite equate to what God is all about, darling. That's
My
what you
pervert ways?
Yeah, you know, the homo stuff.
The homo stuff.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's hurtful that,
You know, the black book, the gold edges, the little ribbon.
I went to Catholic school for 13
that's
years.
Probably most of your problem is you got raised in a screwy religion.
Wow.
Okay.
Speaking of, when you get people like this who don't understand you, they don't understand your message, how do you feel? You were very gracious with him, I gotta say.
Well, my father was hysterically laughing in the back seat, and he was like, why do you think you can pull the car over and convince this man that he's wrong? Just, you know, I really feel that, especially in terms of homosexuality, obviously, we all know that I do a lot of political activism. No one person is more valuable than another. And it makes me sad that someone would, in the name of religion and in the name of God, hold something that has such a hateful message, you will burn in hell, high above their head. And I feel a sense of protection over the fans because they are so spiritual and are so joyful and are so amazing, and they it makes me nervous. I don't want any riots. I don't want any violence. So, you know, I told him, I said, listen, I brought the Get Out of Hell free card on stage, and I brought it with me, and I said, I don't know why he gave this to me. If it was so easy to get out of hell, we should just print up a bunch of these.
I want to end on a happy...
Let's say our own prayer. Dear Lord, thank you so much for the blessings of all my friends and my family. And thank you for all the amazing screaming fans that are here tonight. Dear Lord, please give me strength to be a winner for all of them and not for myself. Dear Lord, remind me to empower not myself, but to empower those around me, because that is my gift. My gift is not self-worship, and my gift is the worship of others. So please help me to be strong, and please help me to know my own strength. Please help me to be brave, Lord. Dear God, give me courage. Do not let me give in to those feelings. Do not let me give in to my own insecurities. Allow me to walk in your light. Allow me to live and breathe and sing and dance for all the dancers on that stage, for the band, for the music, and for you. Amen.
Amen.